Hello there, welcome to Prequel, Sequel, Requel, the show where we pick a film or a franchise and give it a prequel, a sequel, and a requel with a panel of comedians and movie lovers. Tonight we are doing the film Taxi Driver, the classic 1976 Martin Scorsese, Robert De Niro. They're all in this, all of them. It's got them all. Anyway, we're not going to mess about this evening. We'll explain the show. Welcome if you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch this evening. Thanks for joining us. You can comment on the show, make some comments as we go, and also vote for your favourite round. The winner of each round will go on to become the champion of the evening. But first, let's meet our panelists. First of all, he's a comedian, he's an improviser, he does some sing-songs as well in his spare time, have a bit of a laugh about with singing. It's Eddie French.
Oh, sorry, are you talking to me?
Yeah. I thought I'd
talking to me?
I thought I'd big you up a bit.
Yes, thank you. And I thought I would do a bit off of Taxi Driver. So thank you for bigging me up.
Yeah, it's fine. We just lost 3 viewers.
Yeah, I know. Hey, Chris, what would it sound like if Frank Spencer was in Taxi Driver? I think it would sound a little something.
Is that like genuine? This? You genuinely want to hear that? You do?
Go on.
You talking to me? Well, I'm the only one here.
Okay, I actually like that a lot more than I thought I would. Yeah, I'm all right, man. How are you?
I'm good. Yeah, have you been out in the sun?
Yes. I've actually have been outside recently, so that's good.
Good.
No, it's been quite nice and sunny, so I've been enjoying it.
Excellent.
And I get to go to Saltburn by the Sea tomorrow for a day out.
Oh, nice! That is nice.
Excited about that.
Bit of a show off.
No, if I've got something to show off about, I'll show off.
Well, speaking of showing off about something they've got to show off about,
hey,
we've got our next panelist. She's a comedian. She's an improviser. She does all sorts. She's a dancer and a singer. It's Natalie Smeaton.
Every day you say dancer, and every time you say it, it makes me chuckle.
You're a dancer in your heart.
I am a dancer in my heart.
If I learn anything by watching Billy Elliot, it's you can be a dancer on the inside as well as the outside.
And I am a dancer on the inside, 100%. Exactly. And I am in a good mood because I got my COVID jab.
Oh.
It's booked in for Saturday. I'm so excited.
First one or second?
Oh, I thought you meant you'd already had it.
No, it's my first one on Saturday.
I already know that as well. Why did I ask you? I think you've already had it when you already messaged me earlier and said you were going for it.
I did. I messaged Chris to say, "Oh my God, Chris, look, get booked in." And then Chris dropped that I've already had it bombshell.
I've had mine.
Yeah, it was ages ago.
I know.
I nearly died now. That's why I've had mine. I nearly died.
Did you nearly die? You're right.
I'm all right now, but that's why they give me it. I was more shocked than anybody when they said you could have it. I was like,
nearly died not of the jab, but of something that happened ages ago. I should point out.
Yeah.
I just didn't want anyone to think we were.
No.
The jab. I nearly died. I don't want anyone to think that we're sort of promoting wacky ideas about what the jab does.
Straight on Facebook. Yeah. I've heard moon men are poisoning the jabs.
Oh wow!
Really?
Yeah, heard it now.
I heard it was the Moomins.
Let's bring our lovely guest in tonight because she's waiting in the wings. I don't like people waiting. Right then, what can we say about our guest tonight? Back for, I think this might be the 5th time she's done the show. I'd have to double check my figures and my numbers, but the 5 times in. We love having her here. Comedian, singer. I'm going to throw it all in. Dancer, actress, painter, sculptor. She does it all. It's the lovely Hannah Warman.
Yay!
Oh, look at her.
Hello.
She looks like she's just been sculpting.
Yeah.
You can tell.
I actually did an MA in sculpture, so you're
there you go. I do my research on all the guests we have on. I go through and I find out. How have you been? Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm all right. It's my birthday next Monday, so if you guys want to send me stuff, it's fine.
We'll send you stuff. We will. We should.
Lush things, Nat.
Oh. that means no. That means no.
Lush things.
I've seen that before from that. I'll get you a present. means you're getting no offer.
No,
You
all.
have to wrap it in a
Nothing.
headscarf because then it isn't a giveaway prize. I remember what Matt tells me.
We've got some viewers. We've got Big T Moore. Here we go.
Yay!
Never got around to watching Taxi Driver. That's all right. We'll give you a recap in a minute, Big T.
So you were a Big T Moore. No judgment here.
Big T Moore. Nice to have you on board. Thank you. Right then. So we're here. It's prequel, sequel, requel. If you've not seen the show before, if you're watching online, basically we're going to go through Taxi Driver. These guys here are going to give me a prequel, a sequel, and a requel in that order. They're going to get a minute to pitch their prequel, sequel, or requel. I'm mixing myself up now. And then we'll all pick a winner. There'll be a winner from each round, then there'll be an overall winner for the night, unless the tie, like happened last week.
Yeah.
Tie break situation last week. We didn't know what to do.
Like to fight.
To rewrite the book on the show. So right, first of all, though, before we get into it, let me put that up first.
Put your banner
Get
up.
them up. Look, there we go. That's more professional. We've got to get them up. I'm going to give you a recap on Taxi Driver and what it's about. I'm going to read out the synopsis that I found online. Are you ready for this? It's quite a long one tonight. I thought we were going to be short, but it's not. Here we go. Disgruntled Vietnam veteran Travis Bickle is a loner on the mean streets of New York City, slipping slowly into isolation. In solving his insomnia by driving a yellow cab on the night shift, he grows increasingly disgusted by the lowlives that hang out at night. His touching attempts to woo Betsy, a senator's campaign worker, turn sour when he takes her to a porn movie on their first date. He even fails in his attempt to persuade child prostitute Iris to desert her pimp and return to her parents and school. Driven to the edge by powerlessness, he buys 4 handguns and sets out to assassinate the senator, heading for the infamy of a lone crazed gunman. That's where the synopsis stops.
Touching about what he did to Betsy. Let me just point that out. Nothing even slightly touching about the creepy shit that went down with Betsy. I'm just saying it.
I mean, he
went about everything in exactly the wrong and most unpleasant way.
He took her for some dinner, though, didn't he? That bit were all right, wasn't it?
He took her for a fruit salad, and then it all went downhill.
Yeah.
I think it was just a piece of pie. That's not really enough to merit him being a dick.
Yeah.
No, it's like, so she had a fruit salad.
I mean, if he genuinely didn't know. I think
to watch porn. Oh,
I believe he didn't know that people didn't like going to see that as well. I bet he's not been on many dates. You know what I mean? Give him a break.
I mean,
he was the original incel.
He was.
He is a bit incelly, but he does have severe PTSD. It's
Anyway, at the end of we should say what happens at the end of the film, shouldn't we? As well, he actually saves the day in a way. He's the anti-hero, I guess. He's going to kill someone, and he runs off and decides to go kill the pimp and save little Iris.
Yeah.
And then he becomes a hero, and it ends where he's driving the taxi again.
He becomes a hero to Iris's parents.
Yeah. And New York City, man! And New York!
Oh, that's true, yeah.
There's all the papers on the end, of the clippings. He's like Mr. Hero. Anyway, let's see what you've come up with. We're going to go straight into the prequel round, first of all. So you're going to all pitch, 1 minute pitch. I'll use the term loosely. You can go over a little bit if you want. I've just got to keep up with writing, so you can slow it down. Eddie, you're going to go first with your prequel, please. Are you ready for this?
Yes.
Away you go.
Thank you. Lance Corporal Travis Bickle of the 3rd Recon Battalion arrives in Vietnam at the age of 22. After several weeks meandering about the place, avoiding enemies and just generally trying to find anything that is slightly dry to sit on, near, or under, deep in the jungle, his battalion lies low under the cover of dark. Chet Conroy, one of his friends, waxes lyrical about popular music and about how much he misses it. He can remember every song and every melody that he's ever loved. Henry Kowalski, the battalion joker, is only ever serious when discussing cinema and all the films that he wishes that he could watch again sometime, debating who was the better actor in different things. Marcus Jenkins only wants to talk about running for office when he gets home, feeling that now he knows how to improve the US after having been out here for so long. Bickle, the youngest of the group, sits, rapt, hanging on every word. He can hear the music, he can see the films, and he's so excited by the move for societal change that his friends have incited in him. This is the generation that will improve everything. These are the men who can make the US far better than it is right now. 3 large explosions and a hail of gunfire later, he lies a gaping wound in his back, his dead friends around him. VC pick through the smoke looking for survivors. He plays dead. He's found by the army and airlifted to an evac hospital. He's honorably discharged. The guy next to him, the guy in the next bed, asks if he likes Jefferson Airplane. Bickle silently weeps and says he doesn't know much about music.
Oh.
Wow, bleak.
All right. Okay, so Hannah and Nat, you can ask Eddie a question about his epic. I seriously thought it was going to be a MASH when you started.
Yeah.
MASH was set in Korea.
I know, but I thought you were going I thought you were going for MASH-based characters.
No. They were just made up names.
Okay. Have you got a question for Eddie?
Did all of the, other than Bickle, or whatever his name is, I should know that. Did everybody die?
Yes, they all bought it, unfortunately.
Okay. And I was also just wondering what kind of music, because obviously in Taxi Driver, the music's, another character of the film, if you will.
Yes, that is true.
So, what kind of music are you going to have in your war pick?
Well, I was going to scatter it with some of the music that Chet talks about, and that's going to be in sort of slightly dreamy sequences, mirroring the scenes in Taxi Driver where he's just sort of sat in his flat, not really doing anything, but stuff just sort of floating through his mind. But as Chet describes this music, he can sort of hear it in his mind. They're all the things, the films, the music, and the politics. They're all things that he claims to know nothing about at certain points in Taxi Driver. He uses the same phrase. He repeats phrases a lot throughout different things, and he's, I don't know anything about that. I don't know much about that. I don't know much about that. And he repeats it all because they're too closely connected with people that he came to be very, very close with, who were killed in Vietnam. So that's why he sort of distances himself from popular culture. So the only films he goes to watch, porn films. The only, he doesn't know it. He just picks up a record and goes, "Oh, that is a music. I will do that then." And goes, "Oh, what do you like about this politician?" I don't really know any of his policy. That's why.
Okay.
So yeah.
All right.
People are waiting for the really funny knob jokes. I haven't got any.
I've got to say, slightly less knob jokes tonight from your first one, where usually that's what surprised me. I'm dumbed into submission. Now, have you got a question?
I did. My original question was actually about the soundtrack, but old Hannah there got in with it. So instead, you're all right. It's all right. It's a good question.
Well, the soundtrack is another character.
It is another character. So I want to know.
I don't know if that's been mentioned, but that is true.
Oh my God!
I agree, Chris.
Good. I'm glad you agree. Thank you.
I don't know where he got that from. That's so deep. So,
do you know who else is a character? I would go on record as to say the taxi itself is a character in this movie.
I would have argued the city of New York.
Yes,
City of New York.
Original.
Yeah.
Do you know the thing about Woody Allen?
I'm sorry, I didn't know he didn't know. I didn't know he'd come out with that about New York being a character. I'm so embarrassed. I would say the water fountain, the fountain. What the fuck's it? I've messed that up on it. The fire hydrant that the children open. That itself is a character, and the stream of water is a character in this movie as well. Anyway, go on, Natalie. Sorry.
No, you take your time. That's fine. You take as much time as you effing need. While
I feel that it was lacking so many knob jokes. Eddie's, we've got to kind of get some out.
I'll get a drink. Sorry. I'll come back.
No, go on.
Literally, my question was, as we know, Vietnam War films do tend to have cracking soundtracks, but only one has a cracking DJ. So I want to know whether you're going to have a DJ sort of coming through this film that they're listening to on their radios might potentially, sound a little bit like Robin Williams? That's what I want to know.
I'm far from being a military expert, but I imagine that if American battalions were just wandering through the Vietnamese jungle, just with a radio blaring out, they might be pinpointed by the VC a little more easily than they might. So I'm going to say no in that sense, but there may well be the opportunity for that in the evac hospital.
And would the evac hospital be another character in itself?
I think...
I mean, you don't know because he made New York a character and he goes all over the place. Maybe a tree's a character in his.
Chris, come on, let's not be.
He's not studied film. We don't know.
I mean, I think you're making light of this, but obviously the evac hospital wouldn't be. It is but canvas. However, the saline drip is a love interest.
Oh.
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 It's good. It's a good one. Yeah, no further questions.
Interesting. We just got a quick question from Big Team. Should Taxi Driver have got the Oscar rather than Rocky that year?
Yeah.
No.
I thought he was very good.
I'll tell you why Rocky deserved the Oscar, because it's a down out. It's not a down out story. It's like a rags to riches. Underdog, rags to riches story, and also it reflected Stallone's real life as well.
I know, it was really sad, actually, wasn't it?
There you go.
Selling his dog and everything and then buying it back.
Yeah.
Was it for Best Picture?
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know. I'll have to check. But yeah. Well,
oh, fair enough.
Hang on.
I don't know.
Best music, best.
They're two very different films.
They are. Mandy's just nipped in with Rocky. She's not even seen it, I bet.
She doesn't even know where
she's on about a garden.
She's on about those chocolate covered biscuits with the
Sorry,
Robin.
Mandy. What I mean to say is thanks for coming and watching the show, Mandy. I don't mean to just. That's how we lose viewers, isn't it? Just come on and go, that's a garden.
Mandy, by the way. Mandy's part of the improv group that we're in, so that's why we're.
We don't just like guests.
They're not just being casually ageist. They actually.
Who the hell is this? Interrupting our fun.
Yeah, feel free to comment. We will. If we know you, we'll say something about you. Anyway, let's move on. Nat, it's your turn, please, for your prequel for Taxi Driver.
Here we go.
Okay.
Travis Bickle felt the need to drive. From a young age, he wanted to be a driver, and at first, he wasn't sure what he wanted to drive. For a while, he drove cattle, but was fired after becoming obsessed with a beautiful cow called Pansy, who was working in the barn trying to get the chickens elected as farm presidents. Then he tried to be a screwdriver, but found he had neither a Phillips head, because his name is Travis, nor did he have a flat head, and he didn't fit into a drill either, so he couldn't branch out. Getting frustrated and super angry, and suffering brain damage from trying to screw things into walls all the time, he joined the Marines and finally learned to actually drive an actual car. Now he knew what he had to be, a taxi driver. There you go.
Okay, like it. Right, okay. Hannah and Eddie, you can ask Nat a question of your choice.
I have a question. So this is a prequel to Taxi Driver, and obviously Robert De Niro is very old. Who's playing Travis?
So I did actually think about this. I had to think about this because, do I want to go down that sort of commercial, trying to attract the younger audience market and get like a Zac Efron-y, because he's got to be pretty ripped. Zac Efron's pretty ripped. I'm not sure he's got the acting chops for it. He may be. I haven't seen his Ted Bundy thing yet, so he might do. But, do I want to do that and get in a younger audience? Or do we want a deep fake Robert? Do you want a deep fake Rob? Because that would be pretty cool to have him sort of reprise a young... But I suppose maybe...
I mean, they tried it with the Irishman.
Oh, yeah.
That's true.
Limited success.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
I sometimes think we ought to have a deep fake veto on as part of the rules on this show, because it's very easy to just go deep fake Julie Andrews for Taxi
I mean, Julie
Driver.
Andrews could do it. I think Julie Andrews has got
Actually,
the
now,
acting
yeah,
range.
Julie Andrews now.
Julie Andrews could do anything. In my book.
Yeah, well, in that case, I
They
think
should have had her in Mary Poppins too. There, I said it.
Yeah, they should have. Yeah.
So Julie Andrews plays Travis.
I think if we can't get Zach, we get Julie Andrews to do it.
I'd watch it. I'd watch that.
Yeah.
With her in it.
Who wouldn't watch
not?
Julie Andrews in a struggle to find what she can drive?
Hey, speaking of Julie Andrews,
played a big tentacle monster in the Aquaman film. She did the voice of it. It was really weird.
Did she really?
Yeah.
I've not seen it.
There's a big sea monster in it that looks after some important plot point item, and it just suddenly goes hello. It's just Julie Andrews, but it's like this big Leviathan creature. It's really cool.
Right. Yeah. Brilliant. It's odd.
Yeah, it's weird. But, you know.
I watched a Dick Van Dyke film, speaking of Julie Andrews and her acquaintances, called Lieutenant Robinson Crusoe. And yeah,
I've heard
anyway.
of that. How was it?
it was very odd. It's no wonder you never heard of it before, put it that way.
I've watched some of the Jerry Van Dyke sitcom My Mother the Car.
Oh.
It's about Jerry Van Dyke plays a man whose mother is reincarnated into a 1928 Porter.
Is it good?
It's worth watching. It's all on YouTube, but it's very Freudian because he's literally in his own mother.
Oh.
Driving
around.
Let's just... what is wrong with you tonight, Eddie?
Have you got a question?
I just watched Taxi Driver. I feel weird, like Hannah said earlier.
It is weird, yeah. It is a weird one. It does leave you feeling weird. You like, yeah. What? Have you got a question for Nat, Eddie? It was your turn, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So after, if you haven't.
What age do we first meet Travis then? Because all of these are sort of jobs you'd expect him to have sort of as an adult, and he's only 26 in the film, so you know.
Well, he starts driving cattle quite young because he's, you know, you can start helping out on farms when you're quite young, can't you? So he's going to be about 14, 15 when he starts driving cattle.
Okay.
And then realizes that that's not the driving he wants to do. And then that gives us time probably between him being 18 and 22, 23 for him to try be a screwdriver or a drill and drive that way before.
It's a very long time to try to be a screwdriver.
Yeah, he really wants to make it work because for a while he doesn't understand why he's not a Phillips head till somebody points out he's called Travis. I think Julie Andrews will do really well.
She in it as well. Julie Walters in it as well. Oh my god.
Julie Walters
can be his mum. She can do a
wow.
No, she's not.
Accent.
No, she's not. She's
and his mum is a car.
Yeah, his mum's a car.
But she's the person on the farm. Julie Walters can be the farmhand who's trying to help him find what he can drive, like in Billy Elliot. But it's about driving what he drives. There you go.
All right, tied it all together. Well done, Mandy. Just confirmed that. We know her. Well, love's a strong word, Mandy.
That we know her.
Yeah, she put a Christmas tree for some bizarre reason, and some other.
I can see a Santa. That's a Santa.
Oh, can you? I can't see that. We can't see that on the screen. Can you see Santa?
It just looks like a person.
A boy.
Yeah, it just looks like a boy.
Oh my God, no, that's a Santa to me.
Is it?
Weird. Yeah.
Hannah is nice.
Ah, thanks, Mandy.
Well, she's also put it in block capital.
Nice.
Nice.
Right then, she probably left caps lock on. I won't worry about it. It's that button to the left, Mandy. To the left. That's it. She's got it. Right then, Hannah, it's your turn, please, for your prequel.
Oh, dear.
Okay.
Whenever you're ready.
Lona Bickel is 17 and at the same high school as jock football player Palantine. Palantine bullies Bickel and gives him wedgies every day. And to make matters worse, Palantine also goes out with the head cheerleader, Betsy, who Bickel has a huge crush on. All these characters can be played by the original actors as it's Hollywood. And in Hollywood, any actors playing high schoolers must be at least 4 times the age of the characters they're portraying. So these actors are now all in their 70s and they're playing 17-year-olds. We see De Niro's Bickle spying on Sybil as Betsy, the cheerleader. And then in the next scene, we see Bickle in his bedroom dressed up as a cheerleader. And he's practicing cheerleader moves in front of the mirror whilst chanting, "Why, oh, you talking to me?" He then tries out for the squad and he gets in. Then the day of the big game arrives and Robert De Niro is doing his cheers whilst doing evil stares at the football player Palantine. Palantine thinks this new cheerleader fancies him, and so he dumps Sybil and asks out De Niro. Then they become the hot couple of the school. In the final scene, Bickle and Palantine are about to have sex for the first time when Bickle removes his wig and reveals he is in fact Bickle with a mohawk, and he does the biggest wedgie on Palantine. Cut to atmospheric music.
Cool. Okay.
A bit longer.
Right.
Just a lone saxophone calling out over it.
Okay. Eddie and Nat, can I ask a question then for Hannah's prequel?
I mean, this is sounding extremely exciting. I would like to know whether there is going to be the obligatory high school montage of essentially the jocks picking on Bickle and his nerdy friends. You know, are we going to see him getting pushed into lockers, like covered in pig's blood, all of that stuff? Like, is that going to happen?
Yeah, all of the things that have happened in all high school things, that trope of the nerd, they're all going to happen to poor Bickle. And we'll just see how that's the origin of where his kind of... It didn't actually come from post-traumatic stress of Vietnam. It actually came from high school.
Yeah.
He went to Vietnam that disturbed.
He was already like it.
Slightly better.
He was like, this is a relief for me.
Hey, everyone's on my side here. This is great. I'd like to know if we're having the sort of the 70-year-old key cast members, are the sort of supporting characters and other characters, are they going to be played by teen-aged people, or are we going to get just more well-established 70-year-old actors to be the rest of it? Is it going to be sort of like an experimental piece where everyone is a septuagenarian?
Yeah, I think so that they don't stand out as looking a bit too old. Obviously, you can go old. Like, look at Greece and everything; they're all in their 40s. It's fine, but you don't want one of them to be actually 15 because then that's going to stand out. So they're all going to be in their 70s, and there will be full nude sex scenes in it, like you sometimes get in these things, like in Piggies or whatever. But Porkies. These people are 70. Porkies. But they're all in their 70s. Yeah.
Porkies,
yeah.
Cool. Okay.
You
Any
can't
more
make
questions?
them like Porkies anymore. And that's
that's
probably just as well.
Put Porkies on for your granddad.
Go on.
Sequels weren't as good, I don't think. I can't remember.
No, I liked the second one because a Jewish guy shaved the heads of the Ku Klux Klan with the device used for circumcising infants, and that idea made me laugh a huge amount. So,
Christ, Ryan.
And
okay,
it was set exactly, and it was Porky's the day after, so it was set the next day after the events of Porky's, which I thought was just a very busy week for these students.
What was it? Can you remember what the third one was called? There was 3, weren't there?
Porky's Revenge or something like that.
Porky's Revenge, yeah. I don't even think I've seen it.
No, I didn't see
Why
that.
would you? Why would you, to be honest? Yeah, I thought the first one were a bit like Police Academy, but not as, you know what I mean? I mentioned Police Academy straight now. That's it.
You did, and I don't know why, because I didn't get that at all, but all right.
Did you know? I know that kind of silly comedy kind of... Why are we talking about Porkies? I don't know now. We've come down Porkies tunnel. Right, okay. Let's crack on. So, prequels. We've heard of prequels. This is where you guys online watching at home You might be watching something. I don't know if you're home. You might be outdoors watching it on a laptop.
In a beer garden.
Yeah, beer garden. You might be sat on the beach watching it. Be nice, wouldn't it? Anyway, you get to vote on your favourite one. I'm going to give you a quick recap on what you've just heard, and then we get a vote in the room as well. Okay, here we go. Prequels for Taxi Driver. Right. Corporal Travis is in Vietnam. This is Eddie's, sorry. Corporal Travis is in Vietnam. He's 22. He's avoiding enemies the best he can. He's trying to stay dry and keep his battalion dry as well, I believe. I just put dry battalion as my keyword. Then, right, so this is where it went a bit. You started naming all the people in the thing, and I was like, I can't write all that down. So basically, there's all these battalions, they're basically in the arts. We've got music, we've got cinema. They're all pioneers in their field, we'll say. How about that?
They're all enthusiasts.
They're all enthusiasts, which could go on to do great things, right? So, and Bickle sat there going, "Oh, these guys knowing these is going to be great." Further down the line, then disaster. They all get blown up, basically. Bickle survives, and he wants. I've put social change. Is that right?
Yeah. He's excited at the prospect of how society will change when these men go home and influence society, and this generation is going to be great.
Yeah.
But then, because they all get wiped out, he can no longer listen to music or watch films, or regular cinema, or engage in politics because it's just too traumatic.
All right, cool. Okay, Nats was. I don't mean it's cool. It was traumatic, by the way.
No.
Cool. Cool, dude. Nats was Travis Bickle feels the need to drive. So he tries his hand at different kinds of driving. He's a cattle driver. He falls in love with Pansy the cow, so he has to leave that. We didn't find out why, but you can imagine. He tries his hand at being a screwdriver. I put no head. He's
not called Phillips. He didn't have a Phillips head to be a screwdriver. And he didn't have a flat head, so he couldn't be a flathead screwdriver. And he didn't fit into a drill, so he couldn't screw in things that way.
Okay, cool. Then he joins the Marines and learns how to drive a car, which inspires him to become a taxi driver. There you go. Okay, Hannah's was right. I've put Lorna Bickle. So this is a high school kind of comedy farce thing, maybe. I don't know. Jock Palantine is his arch rival at the school. Is that right? And head cheerleader Betsy, he's like going out with her, and Bickle's like, I want to get with her, me, please. So Bickle spies on Betsy all the time. Then he decides to dress as a cheerleader to obviously infiltrate the cheerleaders to spy on Betsy some more. And there's a scene where he's in front of the mirror spelling out, is this right? Are you talking to me? Very good. Like the chants of the cheerleaders. Cheers. Then Bickle and Palantine, this is where it went a bit hazy. Bickle and Palantine actually get together, right?
Yeah, that's the kind of twist.
Right, And then he pulls the wig off, does Bickle, and gives him you see his mohawk underneath it, and then he gives Palantine a wedgie. Right, okay. Were there any more?
Revenge of the Nerds.
Revenge of the Nerds, right, okay. And that's why we got talking about porkies as well. Okay, excellent. Right then, so you can vote for your favourite prequel. Vote in the comments for your favourite, and we'll vote in the room as well. We'll give that time to come in. What we got? Yep, so let's vote on our favourite. We got Anna in saying hi, everyone. Hello.
Hey, how are you doing?
Right, okay, let's... right, who are we voting for?
I'm going to vote for Hannah. I think I like the idea of the old high school.
Yeah, I'm going to vote for Hannah as well, please.
Oh, thank you. It's a tough one, actually. I think I'm going to vote for Nat.
Thank you.
Just because I like the idea of Travis trying to be a screwdriver and on just how that would all work. I'm excited to see that play out.
Well, knowing De Niro, he'd probably spend a month working as a screwdriver just to prepare for the role.
Yeah, he would, definitely.
All right, I'm going to vote for Hannah's as well. I like the idea. It's, you knockabout, Revenge of the Nerd style. Yeah, I'd see it. I'd watch that. I'd watch it. You got me in there. I'd watch that.
I would,
especially with all the 70-year-old actors doing it. That'd be quite interesting.
I do like that idea a lot. It's just going to be a very strange tonal shift when you go, "Hey, should we watch the Taxi Driver saga in order?" Yeah, all right then. Let's put on the next one. Oh,
It would be weird.
but that's
right, here we go. Mandy said, "I vote Hannah." There you go.
Oh.
Ah.
Is that because we pick on her?
She's not ageist.
She likes me.
That's why you got the vote.
Yeah.
She's not ageist. Mandy gets sick of all that stuff. You know what I mean? Right then. So there's people watching. They're not voting though. So we've got no more votes. I don't know what's going on. Hey. Oh.
Anna voted.
Oh, sorry. Hang on. Oh yeah, I didn't see it. I saw the hello, everybody. I didn't realise that. I don't see generic stuff. Yeah, geriatric stuff. Julie Andrews playing. Oh, I forgot about Julie Andrews.
Julie Andrews, yeah. Thank you, Anna. Appreciate
Oh, I might have voted if I'd have remembered that. After all my praise on Julie
Can't
Andrews.
change it now.
I'm not going to cheat. Don't worry. I know the rules. I know the rules. It'd have been a tie if I'd have done that. It'd have messed it up. And we know. We got it. You voted.
You did. We got it, babe. Thank you, Anna.
No more votes. Right, we're going to close the voting. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hannah, you've won the first round. Well done. Very good.
Thanks.
Eddie wasn't going to clap then he decided to.
I did, and then I realised that I need to do that. So
Yeah.
I need to...
All right. We're going to move on to the sequel. It's all to play for still this evening. There's no winners yet, only of the round. It's all the big prize is still up for grabs this evening.
Coming for you.
I would just like to point out that whilst it won't change anything, Big T Moore did vote for me.
Oh.
Too late for it to matter, but
yeah. Just
Eddie.
after the time.
Moved.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't mind just because at least someone enjoyed it.
Oh,
So
does he mean
that's
it was moved by your pitch, I think?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
I assume that's what that meant, yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
Well, thank you.
Well, hopefully, hopefully you'll get the next one. Right, Taxi Driver sequels. Let's move on. We're going to rotate the board. That's the new thing I say, Hannah. Now,
But then we should be moving in the thing.
Yeah.
We should move.
Don't overthink it.
hang on. Yeah, I'm going to attempt it. I'm going to attempt it. You ready?
Oh,
I'm going to attempt to rotate because I just claimed I could do it. If it don't come back, it's a short show.
It's just you.
Ah!
Yeah.
We've rotated the board. I don't know if it's going to.
There was.
Oh, sorry. Hang on. It's not, let me try and rotate. Let me rotate it properly. Hang on. No.
Hey, yeah, no, that's right. Me, then Hannah, then Eddie.
No, because now
No.
I'm in the same.
Oh,
I'm in
sorry.
the same place.
This is the right order on my screen. Is it same for you? So the sequels, it'll be Nat, then Hannah, then Eddie. That's how I've done it. So I should have done it from the start in the correct order.
If you're reading it from left to right, it's
But Hannah's in the same place now.
Yeah, Hannah should be underneath me, but never mind.
I know I should be underneath you.
You
This is
cheeky
complete-
monkey.
I've done it again. What am I doing?
You did it right the first time. Leave it
There
alone.
I'll leave it like that. I'm not going to do it
Yeah,
again. Right.
you did it.
That's better. Right. Okay, we're all in different orders.
It's
Apart
like
from-
Celebrity Squares, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
is. Only celebrity squares. That'd be a totally different show. Celebrity squares.
I'd like to see
Celebrity
that.
squares. There's always one who never gets picked. Have you noticed that? There's always like somebody at top corner, like I don't know, John Lovitz or somebody who goes, "Oh, pick me," in the door. Anyway, I don't know what I'm on about. Sequels. Let's do it right now. You're going first, please, for your Taxi Driver sequel. You can go whenever you're ready.
Here we go. President Palantine has been in charge for 27 years. Upon becoming elected, he created a totalitarian state and banned lots of things like unions, free speech, Ant and Dec, TGI Fridays, Christmas, and taxis. Yes. He purged the public transport system and even banned bicycles. After a failed bus driver uprising in 79 and the Lycra wars from all the bicyclists of 82, Palantine thinks he's in the clear. But he didn't count on an ex-Marine with PTSD and a woman called Iris getting back together to lead a new public service uprising against the government using concealed guns, hot pants, and speeches practiced in the mirror. Travis once again becomes a reluctant hero and overthrows Palantine and frees America. There you go.
Wow. Okay.
Etc.
Right then, good. Eddie and Hannah, you can ask Nat a question. Or not.
Where to begin?
Where to begin? Ask while I write the rest of it down.
There you go, yeah.
I'm also just interested again in casting and how that's going to be achieved. Are you going to be casting it with the actors as they are now, a lot older, or are you going to?
Yeah, I was sort of inspired by the film we watched last week. So we watched Demolition Man last week, and it had like this utopic vision of the future, and then these people who lived in the sewers, as you know, who were trying to who actually are all starving and everything like that. So I had a vision of like an above and below. So yeah, Robert De Niro's coming back. He's grizzled. He's old. Jodie Foster's coming back. She's like, she's grizzled and old, wisecracking. But we've got like a cast of young, scrappy ex-bus driver, taxi driver, public servants who just want to get their jobs back. And it's going to be set in the 80s. So, you know, those wonderful like 80s dystopian movies, like those Mad Max vibe movies. Like, I want that type of wardrobe. I want that type of casting. That sort of, without Mel Gibson. No Mel Gibson's. So, yeah, I want it to have like that feel of like Warriors, that type of thing. That scrappy bandana, weird body armor, fighty electro pop type thing going on. Yeah, but with as many of the original cast as we can get back, including Palatine if we can. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sound a bit serious, that.
Yeah. What?
And Julie Andrews.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
And Julie Walters.
Yeah.
Julie Walters.
I was, and Julie Hesmondhalgh.
And the car.
Yeah.
That is
Mandy's put Rob also needs the dosh, so we're definitely doing that sequel.
Robert De Niro, I think she's referring to.
Yeah.
Does he? What does he need the dosh for?
I thought he's got a phone bill in. That needs
Is
to
he
pay.
still paying off his pasta debt from Raging Bull?
I don't know. If you want to see an awkward thing with Robert De Niro, I don't know if you do or not, watch his Saturday Night Live episode where he sings with the Muppets. It's really weird. It's like it's like they've not rehearsed. They just made him do it, and he didn't want it. It's really weird. It's really odd. Awful. Anyway. Oh, ex-wife.
He's an anti-vaxxer, isn't he?
Is he?
Ex-wife.
Is he an
I think he's an anti-vaxxer, isn't he?
Is he? Oh, I'm going to Google that. Well,
he's something weird.
Allegedly, just say allegedly, and then it doesn't matter if it's true or not.
Yeah, we do it all the time.
I don't know if Robert De Niro is definitely watching this.
I heard when he's an avid viewer. He's been waiting for this one.
He
for
goes
months.
by the name Big T Moore.
That's him. Big Travis Bickle.
Big Travis Bickle Moore. That's what it stands for.
Big Travis. I don't know. He watched the Spaceballs episode. He wasn't impressed. I don't know why. Don't like the film.
He's just not fond.
Yeah.
But,
he just tune in. Hang on.
I would
got more on this. That's why he's doing UK ads.
Oh, like Kevin Bacon.
What ads is he doing? Robert De Niro. Is he doing like Warburton's?
Isn't he? De Niro.
What, Robert De Niro?
I saw Harvey Keitel doing an advert.
Yeah.
The car advert.
Yeah, Harvey Keitel did the character out of thing.
He did Winston Wolfe.
Robert De Niro did a car advert because the car is called De Niro.
Oh yeah, I have seen it. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, and they're like this kid comes up to him, doesn't he? This director and says, "Mr. De Niro, it's not the car named after you or something."
Yeah, he's trying to be a young hip version of. Apparently, Robert De Niro isn't an anti-vaxxer.
He isn't.
He isn't an anti-vaxxer, but he was talking about certain vaccines that might be linked to mercury, having mercury in them. But he's not an anti-vaxxer.
I've heard he always vacuums his house, so there you go.
Dyson's. He's got Dyson's.
Some vaccines do have mercury in them, but so do pears.
There you
go.
have
20 times more mercury in them than a vaccine.
His ad was rubbish. Cow. A couple of shit films recently. What's wrong with everybody? Everybody's getting on it, people. It's only a show, movie show. Let's calm down.
And let's not dick
I
on
think
the guy
Eddie
when
set
we're
the tone
talking
with
about-
his gritty Vietnam war movie. We thought he was going to come on and call everybody, say everybody were knobbing each other off like he usually does. That's what's happened.
I've
Set the
literally never had that as one of mine, but apparently I've got this.
I know you have had a lot of people knobbing somebody.
Well,
You've
yeah,
definitely
obviously.
done
because-
ones where they're all wanking.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That is what I think.
Anyway.
That is.
Is there any more questions? I've lost where we are now. It always happens.
I was going to ask if Sybil Shepherd's going to be involved.
Yeah, and do you know why? Because
I want to know why.
yeah, good, yeah.
Because she's an anti-vaxxer.
At the end of the movie, right, she gets in his taxi and she's like, oh, yeah, I'm going to talk to you again now because you're a hero. And then she gets out of the car and then he drives away and then does that weird thing where he looks quite serious in the mirror. And there's lots of debate about, is he dead? Is he not dead? All of that crap. So she's going to come back as a groupie and still be trying to get his attention because he's a hero now. But her and Iris are going to be like, hate each other because Iris by this point is old enough to be his girlfriend because, you know, that was all wrong at that point. So she's going to be back in it, but just trying to get his attention. And then she's probably going to die at the end.
So what, she's going to be sort of mutton dressed as lambing it up in a sort of attempt to steal him away.
And,
so there's this sort of this extra subplot of Betsy proper still being into him.
She feels bad because she was trying to she elected Palantine. She was on his campaign team.
Oh yeah, of course.
And then he becomes like this like dictator. So yeah, she's trying to help them get him out of the White House, but also her ulterior motive is to get in his pants. De Niro's pants.
All right, cool. Okay, right then, Hannah, it's your turn, please, for your sequel. Let's do this whenever you're ready.
Just putting my code into my phone.
Into the script vault.
You don't want anyone to get a hold of your idea without your permission. So
I know, right? This is going to be huge.
Okay.
Mine's got some similar things to Nat's in it, actually. Some similar tropes. So in the sequel, Betsy is in her 50s and is a very confident, curvy, blonde divorcee living with her teenage daughter. Her best friend, Marianne, is often coming around to gossip whilst drinking martinis and being a snob. One day, her ex-husband comes over to see the daughter. The ex is the current American president, Palantine.
What?
He reveals he's about to remarry a younger woman named Iris. Betsy is now even more determined to find herself a new man. So she goes on a dating app for the first time, but she doesn't really know what she's doing. So instead of Tinder, she goes on the Uber app. And she thinks she's requesting a date with a driver named Travis Bickle. But actually, she's just requesting a car. Then when he shows up, she finds him really mysterious and interesting and somehow familiar, but she can't put a finger on it. He woos her and proposes, and she says yes in a big whirlwind romance. In the final scene, they've got married and it's their honeymoon. Betsy is about to have sex with her new husband when he removes his wig to reveal a mohawk, and Betsy screams. Cue atmospheric music.
I was wanting a wedgie.
No, I should have done a wedgie. You know what? No, I'm going to add it in.
Hang on, I missed the last line. What did you say?
Okay, this is the last line.
Yeah.
So
removes wig, does the
he removes to show the mohawk, and Betsy screams, and then she does a wedgie on him. No, or he does a wedgie on her. They both wedgie each other. It's mutual. Cue the music.
All right. Okay. Right. Cool. Okay. Eddie and Nat, you can ask a question, please.
I'm loving this. I want to know what this soundtrack is. What's the soundtrack? You know, what's your soundtrack? I'm going to stop talking.
Well, I kind of want it to have the atmospheric music that you have in Taxi Driver, so similar kind of classical score, but I also want it to have a jaunty 90s sitcom vibe.
Okay,
ding, 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 ding.
And I want Sybil Shepherd to be singing like some of the songs in the show,
Right. Okay.
like she did in her sitcom Sybil.
It's true, she did.
I've not seen the sitcom Sybil, I've got to say.
Me
Have
either.
you not? They used to show it on Channel 4.
No, I missed that one. I
Sybil,
saw
Sybil
all
was
one.
the original Frasier, but they're women.
Did she do stand-up? What's the deal with being
No.
Sybil Shepherd?
She is just a divorcee, and she's kind of like trying to go on dates all the time.
It is, yeah. Frasier did borrow heavily from the format.
What were the? I saw the thing with her and Bruce Willis. What was that called? What was that used to be called? Yeah, Moonlighting. Yeah.
Moonlighting, yeah.
Oh, the original Will They Won't They?
Yeah. Anyway.
Lovingly borrowed.
Oh, Natalie Smeaton. We didn't need that graphic image. Oh,
Well, I felt like something had to be Eddie tonight.
no, let's keep it classy, please.
Etc.,
Come
etc.
on.
I'm
It's a family show.
I'm suddenly beginning to see what people believe my contribution is to this show.
Yeah.
And they're all very disappointed today.
And you thought it was cleverness.
Do you know what?
It's just cocks, Eddie.
I
It's
thought
just
it was
cocks.
glamour, but apparently it's not.
Yeah. What's next? Questions? Nat, you got a question? Oh, have you asked a question?
I've asked my
Does anyone
I can't
spunk
fucking
off all
remember.
over the place while wanking in it? It's what you all want me to say, innit?
It's a valid question.
This
Is there
kid,
anyone wanking in my film?
Mm.
Is that the question?
That was his
Yeah.
question, yeah.
That was me being obstreperous, but that's okay.
No, there's no wanking in my film.
You've just made.
But
a
there
very
might be-
powerful enemy.
But when Betsy is trying to get a date off what she thinks is a dating app, but it's actually
Yes.
Uber, she does send a few sexy pics because she's heard that's what you're meant to do. So there's quite a few Uber drivers that have seen her nice bosoms.
I've had a proper good eyeful. Right.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay,
And they gave a 5-star rating.
Straight
Oh.
away.
Not bad. Anna's
That's
just
cool.
said, complete Timber Uber is a good tip. So people are getting something from the show tonight. That's good.
What's your high score?
I had to go on Stu's Tinder, didn't I? Fenton, do you remember?
Yeah,
the sound tech at the pub where we do gigs. I had to go on it. I just went, "Yay, this is great!" and won.
It's like, what have you been
Won him.
swiping? And you went,
I
yeah.
won him a load of dates. That's how it works, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right then. Okay. Yeah, the questions were answered there. One. Let's move on. It's Eddie. It's your turn, please, for your sequel, and then we'll do
Okay.
some voting.
All right. So Iris has found her way in Pittsburgh. She's doing okay at school, and her parents are much cooler with her now, being a little bit less strict, and everything is working out better. She doesn't talk about her time in New York, however. She's not allowed. Her parents think it's best if she just does her best to forget it. One night at a party, a boy comes on to her, and she says no, but he is becoming quite a nuisance. She snaps and hits him over the head with a lamp. Sorry, I get very emotional when I hear the word lamp. He asks her what the hell she's doing. She screams at him to get out. He calls her a prude and then tells everyone that she is a big, dirty frigid. So she gets all the stares at school and stuff, possibly some wedges, being the order of the day. And then, so the next party, she brings a gun along. And she shoots him and his friends who laughed at him. She condescends to her villains in the same way that her pimp condescends to her. She's stuffed into a hospital for the criminally insane.
Oh my God, Eddie, are you all right tonight?
No,
Are you okay?
I spent a lovely
Really
sunny
not.
day inside watching Taxi Driver, so no, I'm not okay.
I'm getting that vibe. Yeah.
Criminally. Right. Okay. I honestly thought you were going to say it was Harley Quinn. I really did.
She was a psychologist in a prison.
I know.
In Arkham,
But,
even.
yeah, but you can mess with the
You can
narrative.
do. That's true.
Goodness knows DC do that all the time.
In the cinematic universe, when they stick to one and don't reboot the whole Bally thing. But yes, you're right.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't Harley.
Okay,
It's clearly
Hannah,
from Jersey.
Hannah and Nat, you can ask a question.
I want to know why Eddie choked up a bit when he was talking about a lamp. What's happened with the lamp?
That was
You
flatus.
just-
I stifled a belch, and I
You
passed
do,
it
you
on
do
to
that
the
bit,
motion.
don't you? You have a bit of a belch sometimes like that.
Sometimes, and then
Because you always say the same thing. And I
Yeah,
always
I don't-
think, get a new line. Jesus.
yeah.
I just was wondering whether the lamp was a character.
Well,
Oh!
it's actually Americans will go for this. It's actually that leg lamp off of A Christmas Story.
Oh.
No idea.
No, it's a shit film. Don't watch it. Come at me, America. But yeah, it's a film that they take very seriously. But there's
America does watch this show, so be careful.
Yeah, I know. All of America at
Just
once.
like De Niro.
They stop what they're doing and they sit down to watch prequel, sequel, requel. Well, not anymore. But yeah, it's just a novelty lamp. But
Okay.
At one point I would have said that I did know the lamp, but sometimes I wonder if anyone can ever know a lamp.
Yeah.
It's very deep, isn't it? Belched again. Nat, have you got a question?
No, I don't think I do. I just feel like he's. I know. Sorry, Eddie. You just put me in a bit of a funk there.
It follows the same.
Depressing everybody, Eddie. I hope your last one's a joke.
Thematically, it's
sad and tired.
Well, thematically, it follows Taxi Driver because it's undealt with PTSD, isn't it? That's what happens.
I put my lamp on.
The whole
put my
thing's
lamp on. Does that help? Is that helping?
That's actually giving him PTSD.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. I knew that would happen.
But the whole thing, it's untreated PTSD and a society that is not sensitive to that fact.
Tune in next week where you'll hear these hilarious japes and more.
Right. If we'd been able to do Xanadu like I'd asked you.
We're not doing Xanadu. You're the only person who wants to do Xanadu. If I can't do Loch Ness, you sure as hell can't do Xanadu.
Black said she'd be able to do Loch Ness.
Yeah,
all right.
was fine.
We'll do fucking Loch Ness then one week. We're going to do Loch Ness 3-hour special. We're getting 18 panelists. Loch Ness special. We're going to be here for 3 nights doing the same film. We're going to tear it apart. Anyway, right, let's get some voting done, for God's sake. Right, here we go. Sequels for Taxi Driver. Nat's was President Palantine. It's 27 years later. He's banned loads of stuff, motor vehicles, including, most importantly, taxis. There was a bus driver uprising at one point, but it didn't go anywhere. Ex-Marine Travis and Iris start a new uprising, making speeches and stuff, and they overthrown Palantine. I keep wanting to say Palpatine because the Emperor. Star Wars. Palantine, they overthrew him in the end. Okay.
Yeah, that was the gist of it. Yeah,
that was the gist of it. Hannah's was Betsy. I've put Betsy in 50s. Why did I put that?
She's in her 50s.
Oh, in her 50s. I'm still thinking of the 70s earlier. Right, okay. She's in her 50s. She's divorced. She's got a teen daughter. She gossips with a neighbour. Who I thought were going to be a character, but then it turns out it was just a gossipy neighbour. Is that right?
Yeah, it's just because I was trying to make it sitcom-y. 90s
right. Got you. Okay. Ex-hubby comes back into town. It turns out it's Palantine, the president of the United States. Is going to marry Iris. So Betsy says, "Hey, up! I'm not having that. I've got to get at somebody as well because I want to." And she starts on a dating app, but she thinks it's a dating app. It's actually the Uber app, and she thinks she's going on a date with somebody called Travis Bickle, who's mysteriously familiar to her. They go out and he proposes on the honeymoon. He pulls his wig off. There's a mohawk underneath, and then they wedge each other while the music plays. Yeah. Eddie's was Iris's parents. Iris is still with her parents. Sorry. She doesn't talk about her days in New York City at all. There's a boy who comes on to her, and she says no, and she smashes him on the head with a lamp. So he tells everyone she's frigid at school. So she goes to the next party there. She brings a gun, and she shoots him and all his friends in cold blood, guns them down, and then he's put into a Hospital for the Criminally Insane.
Because in this society, we criminalise mental illness instead of treating it before
I
bad
see.
things happen.
See, you should have said that at the end. And we'd have gone, oh, very good. Right then, okay, so let's get voting.
The mental illness is like another character.
Oh. See,
you didn't think about it like that, did
No,
you?
no,
Now
I didn't.
It all comes clear.
I mean, some would say the gun is a reflection of Iris.
Chris, you're on the verge of doing that 40-minute poem we heard at the Fringe one year.
Oh, no. I've never subjected to that. Right then, okay, let's do this. So let's vote. You can vote in the comments. You've heard the recaps. We'll vote in the room. What we're going for?
I'm going to vote for Hannah, please.
Me too.
I want to see the wedgie.
I'm going to vote. Again, I found it hard, but I feel like I'm going to vote for Eddie just because I think he needs this.
Please don't.
Pity vote. Just throw him that pity vote.
Please don't. I mean, I'll accept it gratefully, but please don't feel that this relates to. I had a nice day. I saw my niece. I bought her a cat hand puppet. It was nice.
Why didn't you do a film about cat and puppets?
Because we were
The
doing
last one about.
taxi.
Did
Because
you
we were doing Taxi
recall that?
Driver.
Did you
If
recall?
If we were doing the film of cats, then maybe I'd have done one with hand puppets. But
I
Taxi
told you
Driver.
before, never mention that word in here. Never mention the movie Cats in here. So no cat zone.
We have a zero cordon policy.
We do.
Yeah.
No cordons in this show. Thank you. You could say it's cordoned off. Anyway, right. I'm gonna vote. I'm gonna vote for Hannah's as well. I'm afraid.
Yay!
Sorry, guys. Sorry, Eddie. You don't get a sympathy vote. I like the idea that you put the Uber. If you want an explanation why I voted, the Uber thing, it brings it up to date.
Yeah.
You know, I like that sometimes in my films. So yes, there you go. Right, let's have a look what we got on the.
Chris likes nothing than the inclusion of apps in films that he watches. He just loves.
Yeah, I do. It makes me feel like I know what's going on.
Character's just tweeted, "I like this film."
Yes, I like this. Vote for Eddie again. Moved. Pity no Willy gag though. Yeah, we're all waiting for it.
Yeah.
We're all waiting for it. Hannah.
Yay!
Mandy?
Love you, Mandy.
Whatever, Mandy. Whatever.
The ellipsis is concerning, though, isn't it? Hannah.
Yeah. Vote for Hannah this time, like the mutual wedgie. Yeah. There's a lot going for it.
Wedgie
That's
is
why
possibly
I
one of the
voted.
most intimate acts a couple or more can do that they can share with one another.
It's also a good name for a band.
Mutual wedgie. It is, yeah.
We are mutual Wendy. Mutual Wendy.
Wendy, what is wrong with you?
Mutual
What's
Wendy.
going on tonight?
I don't know. It's
We're
a weird
so
show, isn't it? It's a really weird one, this one.
The mutual
Honey, you're the
Wendy
only
where
sane
Peter
thing in
Pan
this.
invests all his money.
I
I love all your reactions, Nat. You're just making me laugh.
Eddie's depressed. He's having lamp sickness. Chris can't talk. Hannah is literally the only
what's
person.
going on here? Shut up, Nat. Don't be gel babes.
You shut up, Mandy. You shut up.
Whoa! Everybody calm
Me
down.
and Mandy have a thing, okay, Nat? Just get over it.
Okay, right.
Me and
Hannah's,
Mandy just do wedges on each other.
Hannah's won the second round. Hannah's won the sequels. There we go. So I usually say at this point it's all to play for, but it's not all to play for. It's just for fun now because Hannah has already won the night by having 2 rounds. So
I'm going.
we'll go through the motions. We'll go through the motions though. We'll play it out as it would have, you know. I won't rotate the board. I'm going to rotate the board.
Come on, rotate the board.
Rotate the board. There we go. Here we go. Let's rotate. Yes. No.
Look at that.
No.
Hang on, Eddie's
Eddie's got to be where I am. Now, Eddie. No, Eddie.
Yes.
There we go.
Getting the hang of it. Rotate the board. Okay. Right, as we move on to the requel. So reboots, remakes, remasters, whatever you're going to do with these. Here we go. Hannah, you're going first this time, please.
Okay.
No pressure.
So my reboot. Maybe I won't win this one. A rocket scientist from Syria called Mo has to seek refuge in the UK, but there are no rocket jobs going. so he has to work as an Uber driver in London. His customers and the Uber bosses treat him like shit. He can't sleep and his mental health gets progressively worse. We see him in his bedsit, designing and building what looks like a huge rocket-like weapon. When it's finally ready, he straps this huge rocket to his back and heads to the Uber headquarters. Outside the building, Uber drivers are protesting about how they deserve better pay and benefits. But Mo knows he can make a real difference. He walks past the protesters and into the Uber offices. Security tries to stop him, but he simply points to this huge rocket on his back and demands to see the CEO, and they have to let him through. Then you cut to TV news where the reporter explains how an Uber driver from Syria called Mo has invented self-driving rockets that can carry passengers from A to B for much cheaper than the price of an Uber and without needing to pay any drivers ever again. Mo had sold his rocket idea to the Uber CEO and has become a multi-millionaire. And then he gives himself a wedgie.
Is the wedgie a character in that one?
Yeah, in
Is that your
a
question?
way.
Is that your question, Nat?
Yeah. The wedgie is a character in that one.
I would say, yeah, the wedgie in a way is the main character. If there was like an Oscar, it would it would go to the wedgie.
No, actually,
And the Academy Award for Best Wedgie goes to
Okay, that's good. That's all I needed to know.
Marks and Spencer's wife fronts from Taxi Driver Reboot. It's a bunched up load of cotton just going, oh, we never expected this to happen. When we bunched up in Mo's crack, we thought this was special, but we didn't know. We love you. Thank you. Music starts playing. It's going to be good.
It's very well deserved. Any other questions?
Any other questions?
I was just wondering why Eddie decided to try and inject a bit of comedy in the evening after all he's put us through.
Well,
Too late with your little skit about Oscars and award speeches. Now that should have been opening. You should have tried that at the opening. Always start with your best material, Eddie. You know, always go in with your number one gag or your number two.
I'm not sure any of you guys understand exactly how many complexes I've developed as a result of being on this show for over a year. But
He's doing another bit. He's doing another bit. It's all right. Let's do another bit. Here we go. It's another character.
The dismissal of psychological discomfort is a running theme throughout all of these, and apparently this too. Anyway, I don't know if I have a question so much. Again, what are we having soundtrack wise? Are we going to be incorporating any kind of traditional Syrian sounds into this?
Yeah, the score is going to be done by a Syrian musician with the famous Syrian instruments that we all know and love.
Oh, yes. The standard pantheon.
Yeah, so yeah, we are going to bring that Syrian thing, but then we also want it to have a London twist because this is not New York, this one's in London. So we just want it to have this multicultural feeling and kind of the idea of, he's an alien in London and, he's kind of rags to riches, really.
Or sort of riches to rags to riches.
Yeah.
He's doing all right. So yeah, such is the way. Yeah, cool.
Okay. Right, cool. Let's move on. Eddie, it's your Requel.
Okay.
Strap yourselves in. Here we go.
Okay.
Travis Bickle is dead. But he was dead from the beginning.
Travis Bickle died in Vietnam. No. Travis Bickle died in Vietnam, but Taxi Driver was born there. No. I'd like to see it. I want to modernize it a little bit, but all I want to see are things like all of the parts where he's writing in his journal, all of those voiceovers. They're going to be vlogs on YouTube. They're going to be part of his channel. It's going to be T Driver Travis is going to be his handle. And he's just doing his vlogs about it, and it's going to be a lot of them when he's just driving around in between fairs, just recorded on his phone. talking about, the rain will come and wash the scum off the street and all that kind of thing. And then he's going to do a series of amusing TikToks of the best things to do when you've just shot your gun out of your arm on your slidey thing and point it at someone. So he's going to be doing that kind of thing. And the main difference is that rather than no one paying any attention to him, he's going to get far more attention and far more ears and eyes on him than he ever wanted. Because all he wants is to sort of communicate with people. But unfortunately, YouTube and blowing up the way that it can do, not with this show, but with some shows, will end up with a huge number of people interacting with him, which causes him to sway back and forth in his convictions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hannah and...
and then there is big shot and everyone is gunned and there is bombs on it and they're all dead at the end.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
on
form.
That's what you were
Well,
waiting
if it's
for.
any consolation, at the end of your pitch, I was being literally physically attacked by the cat. So I felt the physical pain that you were giving me in the first two pitches anyway.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Have you got a question, either for Eddie?
I would ask the same question that Eddie kind of asked for me in terms of what's the soundtrack.
There's going to be a lot of songs. There's going to be that sort of very sparse, atmospheric, sort of rather lonely and claustrophobic feeling, sort of minimal score, but interspersed with whatever are the popular sounds on TikTok that particular time that he's going to put in the background in order to get a wider thing. So there might be 30 seconds of K-pop while he shows you how to load a gun without looking at it. Or, he'll be doing like a sort of a bit from an old cartoon where they're using the soundtrack to sort of act out a little sketch, but he'll be doing that whilst shaving his head or taping a knife to his boot.
Okay.
There should be quite a jarring juxtaposition.
All right. Nat, did you ask? I can't remember.
No, I'm fine. Yeah, no, I'm fine.
All right.
I made a statement about my cat, and that was it.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's done. I'm good. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Nat, your turn. Your Requel, please.
Okay. So, I was partly inspired by the narration of Robert De Niro during this movie, and it really reminded me of, and maybe this is because I was an 80s kid / early 90s kid and teenager, Craig Charles, when he used to be a beat poet. So Craig Charles used to be on loads of really late night programs in the 80s and the 90s, doing beat poetry and different things like that. So I want this to be a spoken word beat poet performance rather than a movie. So it's just going to be a mic, and it's going to be Craig Charles. I want him to do it. And there's going to be a drum and a saxophone and Craig Charles and Travis's journal, and he's going to perform it as a beat poem. So instead of it being like this gritty on the street movie that we're used to, it is a spoken word performance by a very like skilled beat poet performer. And then I want it to finish on a haiku. So the haiku is going to be, I drive my taxi. My girl relationships are inappropriate. Scum still on the streets. So that's what it's going to finish with. But all the way through, there's going to be like, it's just going to be Craig Charles performing it. And just occasionally they'll be like, and like, while he pauses. Yes, yeah. And then people will be smoking and it'll be cool. And like
clicking.
They'll be clicking. And like, that's what I want. That's my reboot.
Just occasionally someone is going, wow. That's Danny John Jules in the background. Wow.
100%, yeah. That's what I want.
Right,
is it performed in front of a live studio audience?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. It needs to
Jules
have a live studio audience. I think he should introduce it and intro and outro it. That's what Jules Holland needs to do. Yeah. He needs to sort of set it up, and then he needs to take us out at the end. Yeah.
Can he be really pissed in it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because Craig Charles is going to be chugging all the way through. You know what he's like. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm just wondering if it's this beat poetry thing, is it going to be as long as a movie, like 2 hours?
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah. What? Yeah, that's what beat poet is, isn't it?
All right.
Yeah, I want it to be drawn out. I want people to get drunker. I want the music interludes and the drum and the saxophone interludes just get a bit weirder, a little bit disjointed. And then the crescendo, that haiku, and then pow, Jules Holland, and then we're into the credits.
Okay.
Like all great crescendos ends, and then Jules Holland.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Any more questions before we?
Yeah, my question is: did you write that haiku so you didn't have to think of one on the spot when someone said
absolutely.
what?
I
thought so. Yeah. I thought it was a very brave move to say it ends with a haiku, and then you pulled one out. Oh, right, okay.
Yeah. Well, I've got a bad habit of not writing my reboots until the show. So while I'm listening to people's sequels and prequels, I put my reboot in. So I genuinely Googled during sequels. I Googled to double check how many syllables are in haikus and what the beat should be like, and wrote it whilst we were voting. Genuine story, true story.
Wow.
I was too scared of one of you going, so what haiku would they finish on for me not to have one? Yeah.
Can I ask one more thing?
Yes.
Well, it's not really questions, it's more like a statement. I noticed that you always have Julia's and Jules Holland and Julia's, and I'm just thinking, what's going on with the Julias and the Jules?
Oh, do you think there's a deep psychological thing that we keep mentioning?
Seems like all of Nat's movies seem to have a Jewel-based person.
And pop singer Jewel.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like
the film The Jewel in the Nile.
Yeah, what's going on now up here?
Yeah.
What's going on,
what's going on with the jewels? That's what all I want to know.
Because you are all jewels in my heart.
I knew it was that. I knew it.
Did you know? Did you know it was that?
That's beautiful. And is the jewel in your heart a character?
It is the main character.
Oh my god!
Daniel Mercer just popped in. Hey,
friend.
Hi, Daniel. All right.
Hi, Daniel.
Thanks for coming. You've missed the rounds, but thanks for coming.
You've missed a rather out of character episode today, I would say.
You've not missed anything from Eddie, don't worry, Daniel.
What?
You can watch it on the reruns. Have a bit of a skip. I'm only kidding. He knows I'm kidding. By now.
Does he?
I think he does. I think he does. I don't know. He's got that lighting on now, though, that looks sinister. Like he doesn't. Right. Okay. Let's do a recap. Okay. Requels then. Requels. Just can't see it's his influence. Requels. Requels. Hannah's was a rocket scientist from Syria. Mo decides to become an Uber driver, and he's in London. It's all set in London, this. But his mental health takes a turn for the worse, getting worse, and he makes a rocket to put on his back, right? There's a lot of protesters. I didn't write why.
Outside the Uber headquarters. So he goes to security. They're like, you can't come in here, but he goes in anyway. He goes to see the CEO. And then the TV news says this scientist from Syria has invented a self-driving rocket to ferry passengers around. So he sold them the idea, and he gets that commissioned off him. Then he gives himself a wedgie. To celebrate, maybe, I don't know. Yahoo!
Yeah, I did it! Oh!
Is that like a freeze frame, like when people throw their hats in the air? But this one has just got a handful of his own pants.
Yeah.
Right then, Eddie's was he's going to modernise it. He likes the voiceover aspect of the film, so instead it's going to be vlogs. The guy's handle is T Driver. So he's going to be phone recording TikToks, things like that. He's going to document his driving, I guess, all around. Yeah. And then when he starts messing about with his guns, he documents that as well on TikTok. He starts doing TikTok videos about his guns, like how you make your mechanisms and all that. Yeah. And then he gets more attention than ever, so murders everybody.
I didn't say that.
You did? I did it at the end.
I did say it, but I said it in a sarcastic voice.
There's no murder. It just gets more attention.
No. Well, no, because he's now in a position where now people are listening to him and potentially offering him some sort of support, and he doesn't quite know what to do. So it becomes a lot more of an ambiguous film.
Right, okay. Then he murders everybody. Right. Nats was inspired by the narration. Okay. So she liked that. And she mentioned, right, so it's a spoken word beat poet, the whole film, right? Starring Craig Charles. And it's basically, you've got the journal in there, Travis's journal. Craig Charles is beat poet in the whole thing. Finishes on the haiku. Can you read that out again? Because I didn't write that down.
Was, I drive my taxi. My girl relationships are inappropriate. Scum still on the streets.
Yeah, okay. And then Jules Holland's thrown in at the end.
Yeah.
Lovely. Okay, right then. Excellent. Let's do some voting. So you can vote in the room, obviously, for your favourite, and then we'll get back in the comments and see who's voting in there. Let's do this. Just so you know as well, we got a like and a heart at the top.
Oh, sorry everyone. I was just on my phone writing a haiku. What was that?
You mean you weren't paying attention to the show? Would that lose you some marks if you were doing that while the show was in progress? Because
I mean, I can't see why it would. It seems like appropriate behaviour to me.
It seems like that could possibly be a new rule for prequel, sequel, requel. If somebody's not paying attention to the film and they're writing stuff down while other people are talking, it seems a bit disrespectful.
I don't know. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. It's like, I mean, what there should be a
don't do your homework. Now, she's not listening. She's writing down now.
I'm writing
it. Doing another haiku.
I'm writing a haiku.
I imagine this is very akin to doing your homework on the bus. I don't know.
I'm just trying to think of the last line. You're putting me off.
All right. Okay. Who are we voting for? Let's get some votes in. Come on.
I am going to vote for Eddie.
Well, thank you.
It's not a pity vote.
You say laughing your head off.
I mean, it sounds like one now, but fine. No, that's okay.
Yeah, me too. I am also going to vote for Eddie, and it's not a pity vote at all, Eddie. It's brilliant.
Eddie's little face looks sad.
He's got 2 votes. Can't be that sad,
I have 2 votes, and my antidepressants are still working, so I'm fine. Just you hope I don't run out of medicine. No, I'm gonna vote for Hannah's. I like the idea of the soundtrack. Sounds like a lot of fun, and I don't know. I think it would be very interesting to see what the reaction would be if Uber suddenly said, "All right, fine, we don't have to treat our drivers as employees because we don't have any drivers anymore. Look at our rockets.
Yeah.
Fuel drivers." So yeah, I want to see what that looks like. For a
good
bit.
moral.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It really sits well with me. But I like the idea.
Mm-hmm. Who's not voted? Nat, have you not voted?
I'm struggling with this one.
Because she's still writing her fucking poetry.
I think because of that, I'm going to vote for Hannah.
Okay, let's have a look. Andy's voted. What's going on here? We've got a load of Daniel's going crazy. What's going on? Hang on a minute. Nat wrote hang on, there's people who are talking here. Nat wrote a haiku during the show, Bloody Nora. What a boffin.
I know, right? Thank you.
Not the word we'd use. Got skills. Daniel Mercer's laughing his head off.
Thank you.
The bloody goddess. Spelled wrong.
Thank you, Mandy.
No, it's not spelled wrong. We got this wrong. Yeah. I don't know why. Sometimes just the words sometimes look like they're not spelled right to you.
I think that is wrong. It needs to have 2 D's.
2 D's, yeah. Yeah, Mandy.
Double D.
All right, yeah,
double D. For any goddess, it's got to be at least double D, right? Right, guys? There's a
there he is.
It is. Come out and end the show. Right, what we got? Yeah, I got full-time teacher position. Just keeps me hoping.
Don't know what he means.
I don't know what that means. Maybe he's just got well done, you.
Well done, Daniel. Well done on getting your full-time teacher position.
I don't know what he's doing.
Yeah, I mean, well done for being employed. That's good.
Yeah.
But
students keep. He must have said something earlier about hoping.
We must have said something to him, and he's replied, but we don't know what we said.
Sorry, Daniel.
We said hello, but
yeah. All right. Right. Okay. Mandy's putting that back in. Nat, you got the vote.
Thank
Off
you, Mandy.
Great casting from Anna there. Great casting. Haiku. One vote for Nat. Oh.
Thank you, Anna.
Yeah, this is going to be close. This one. Big team. I'll vote for Eddie again. As long as the director is Michael Bay.
You can keep your vote. You can keep your vote, Big Timor. Thank you.
Oh. Oh, that one nice.
I know what.
Vote for somebody else, Big Team, quick. Natalie wins. Well, she's not win yet.
Oh, thank you, Daniel.
Come in here showing off you're employed, and then all of a sudden saying
Declaring
who's
the winner.
Thank you, Daniel. Well done on your full-time positions.
I'm just showing by vote, Hannah.
That's my sister.
We know.
We know.
We know.
Love you, Sarah. By the way, it's her birthday as well next Monday, so say happy birthday.
Yeah. Oh, happy birthday for Monday. We'll send you some lush. Send you a lush basket. Right, we got. Oh,
That's just writing another haiku.
I'm just still finishing the other one.
John Myers. I thought it was John Mayer. Oh, Hannah, can I play guitar in the band Mutual Wedgie? Yes, you can, John. No problem. Why have you not voted before, John? Have you just got here? Everybody coming in late. What's going on?
He's been penning the first Mutual Wedgie
Thank you,
record.
Timor. I appreciate your vote. Many thanks.
Billy votes Nat.
Thank you, Billy. I much appreciate that. It's Craig Charles, isn't it? Craig Charles is just cool.
Okay, so at the end, that was a close one. That was a close one. That last round, but with one vote pipping it, Nat, you won. You won that round.
Thank you very
well
much.
Done for cheating, but really the moral victory goes to Hannah with 4 votes because you really shouldn't have been writing your thing at the. We'll let it slide though because you know.
I do it every week.
Oh, now you're just blatantly admitting.
I do my reboot every single week during the show.
Care about the show. Anyway, right then. So,
whatever, sir. I'm not bothered to do it every week, innit?
I know. Right, so Nat won that round, which means with 2 wins this evening, Hannah's our winner this evening.
Yay!
Well done. Thank you so much for coming on. As always, Hannah, you've been brilliant.
Always a lot of fun.
Thank you very much. That's very nice of you to say that.
You're a lovely group of people, and it's very enjoyable.
Oh, thank you very much. It's lovely. I know.
I can't do this anymore.
I can't even close the show now. Can't even finish the show. Can't do it now. Right then, let's do some plug-in. That's what we're all here for, really.
Oh, yeah.
It's not. We just like hanging out and got not to do on a Monday night, have we really at the moment? Anyway, Hannah, have you got anything you'd like to plug? Tell everybody about your comedy channel and everything.
I don't really have anything in particular to plug, but please do subscribe to my YouTube channel, Hannah Warman Stuff. That would be delightful. Thank you.
Awesome. Cool. We'll leave a link in the description on Facebook for that and send people there. That's cool. Excellent. Check out Hannah's songs on there. Brilliant stuff. Millions of views. Award
I don't
winning.
know about millions, but yeah, some views.
Yeah. Award winning.
Tens of views.
Tens of thousands. You got loads of views.
Yeah, no, I do have tens of thousands actually. Yeah.
Yeah, you do. What else we got? We got comments still coming in here. It's been a right one tonight.
I can multitask, Mandy. Thank you very much because.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, and I wasn't even here to vote for.
Yeah, I won on merit.
Yeah.
Not nepotism.
Congratulations, Hannah. Daniel said.
You're
the real.
Martha.
Daniel obviously feels like the real winner though, doesn't he? Because he got his new job and had to tell us.
Yeah, well done, Daniel.
Well done on being a teacher, Daniel.
Well done, Daniel. Yes.
Some therapy.
Thanks for some therapy now. Therapy.
Please don't let us put you off watching Taxi Driver. It's like Joker, but good. You'll like it.
Right then. Okay. Let's do some more. Nat, have you got any plugs this week?
No, mate. I've been too busy writing haikus to plug anything, mate.
Okie doke. I'm not even going to ask you about your YouTube channel anymore. It's dead to me. It's never coming out. 2023, it'll be here. Your YouTube channel will come out when Ghostbusters Afterlife does. Yeah,
we're doing a tie-in. That's why.
Yeah, that could be your first video. You can go review it. There you go. Eddie, what have you got for us this week?
Much the same. IC News podcast, Fire Breathing Kittens podcast, Discount Comedy Checkout Improv Show podcast. You can go to my Bandcamp, Eddie the French. I can't remember. If you go, no, Eddie French Bandcamp. You can buy my digital 7-inch if that's the sort of thing you like the sound of, or just listen to it. Anything will help.
Okay, cool.
We need to bet right now, people. Come on.
Go buy his song, you miserable.
The songs aren't funny, by the way, but they're not supposed to be. So,
right, okay.
I don't want anyone thinking I don't get the joke. It's just a song. There's no joke in it.
Right. Okay. Maybe you could write one about tonight's episode. Put that on there.
I think a large sort of black and red painting would be more appropriate to vibe this episode out. So let's.
Okay. Well, if you've enjoyed it tonight and you want more laughs next week, we'll be here at 8 o'clock next week. As for me, tomorrow night on Box Office Radio, I've got my soundtrack show, What's the Score? I've actually put Taxi Driver on it for tomorrow night, so we're already on the playlist, so you can have a listen to that. There's other stuff on there. I've got a couple of tracks from Jaws tomorrow night as well, you know, a bit of that going on. Some John Williams, a bit of Henry Mancini, stuff like that. John Barry.
The Love Suite from the Love Score
from Jaws.
Yeah.
Did you ever see Bill Murray did the Love song from Jaws on Saturday Night Live reunion? It was very funny. It's a sketch. Anyway,
but I will look for it.
Have a look for that. It's good. What else we got? It's All Geek to Me is on Saturday night, 8 o'clock with Rich and Nath, where we talk about geeky stuff and do a retrospective on there of a movie. We don't know what that is yet because we haven't decided. So that's check that out as well. Other than that, we'll be back next week. We don't know what film it is yet because I've not sorted it yet. That'll be 8 o'clock Monday night. We'll see you again. It's Bank Holiday, I think, this week. Isn't it Bank Holiday Monday?
It is Bank Holiday.
And it's Hannah's birthday next Monday. Send her a nice message. Send her a nice message. Yeah. That's it from us. Thank you to everybody coming on tonight and watching on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. We really do appreciate it. Thanks for joining in, having your comments, doing your votes. We love it. Thank you very much. And obviously, thanks to Hannah for coming and joining us this evening. It was lovely to have you as always. Thank you very much.
As well.
Yeah, great film choice. Yeah, that's it from us, though. Thank you very much. We'll see you again next time. Oh, we've got just look at that. It's in demand, Loch Ness. It's coming. It's coming, Big Timor. 1 week. See you all later. Thank you. Good night.
See ya.